Alright YouTube, we are back to work on the 240 and we got to break down these 240-gallon breeders here, the puffer, rainbow fish, and cichlids down below. But first, I got a care package from Kyle's Wild World. I already opened it, but we'll take a look at what I got. Huge thank you to Kyle. I'll put a link to his channel down below and at the end. Definitely check it out. Awesome, awesome channel. But let's take a look. Alright, so first thing we got is a Greg Sage white worm and red worm culture. Pretty awesome. I'll tell you, this thing smells really bad. He also sent me some food, so that's pretty cool. Sent me a lot of root tabs, which is definitely something I need right now, and I'll show you why. Alright, and I need them for this tank here. You can see I tore out a bunch of crypts a while back and it just kind of threw off the balance of the tank, I guess, and the crypts just haven't recovered yet. It doesn't help that my cichlids are spawning and spreading gravel over and burying my crypts. You never really want the crown of the crypt below your substrate, so that kind of sucks. Hopefully they'll hurry up and spawn and stop doing that, but we'll get those root tabs in here and hopefully that'll help get these crypts back in order. And last but not least, he sent me a super awesome fisheye camera. Let a fish do your fishing. There you go. Wearable fish camera. You can put it on your dog, you can go bowling, put it on your eagle, put it on your baby. Sky's the limit with this. Let's open it up and take a look. Just kidding, it is a t-shirt. Oh, and it's wrapped up pretty good. I'll be right back. Here you go. How cool is that? He got one of my t-shirts and tie-dyed it for me. Anyone who knows Kyle knows that he has one of my t-shirts and it's tie-dyed, and I've seen it a few times, and every time I think, man, that's an awesome shirt, and I tell him every time, well, he made me one. So that is just super awesome. I'm super stoked, and you know what? I might try to see how it fits right now. Alright, there you go, the tie-dye shirt. 2 of a kind. Only 2 of these in existence, and I'm super happy. Thanks a lot, Kyle. Definitely check out his channel. It'll be linked at the end, linked in the description. Definitely worth subscribing to. But now we need to get to work. So the goal of the day is to get the mystery snail tank down, the puffer tank, and the cichlid tank down here, all tore down. I'm not really sure where everyone's going to go yet, but I'm going to start draining water and try to come up with a plan. Alright guys, here's what I've come up with. The 90-gallon is back, just sitting on the floor in the fish room. And here is where the puffer and the rainbows will live until I get that 240. So a nice big upgrade for them until that 240 comes in. However, it is just going to be sitting on the floor. But you know what? It was sitting on the floor last time. So I am draining the water from the tank directly into this tank. And then I'll fill the rest up with tap water. So now I got to work on getting all the hardscape out, getting all the filtration moved over. Not that there's much filtration, just a sponge filter. Probably just use 2 sponge filters on it. Be a good thing to break down this tank. It's needed it for a while. Just never quite got rid of that blue-green algae problem. So I am going to try and attempt to catch little Steen out of here using a bucket. For anyone who's new to puffers, you could not use nets because if they puff up, they'll pretty much die. They'll get stuck in the net. So this might also be the first time he ever does puff up if I piss him off enough. Let's see what I can do here. Ooh. He's really quick and he can jump. But hey, that wasn't too bad. I don't know if we'll see him in there. There you go. Get him moved over. Now here is the crappy part. The bucket doesn't fit in here. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do this yet. I might find a different container. Yeah, let's try that. Alright, there we go. This will work. Hopefully he doesn't get too angry. Drop him in here nice and easy. And there he goes. Well, that wasn't so bad. Should probably get a light on this tank. Here we go. Just steal this one. Probably should have did this first, huh? Alright, I'm sure he's already hidden somewhere. Oh, there he is right there. Of course, right under the glare. Alright, so he's going to have a much larger home for the next, well, let's be honest, this is going to take a while. I'm going to have to wait for reinforcements to get that 240 in here, so I know Corey's out of town. So wait for him, and then Jimmy can come up here. Jimmy's the muscle, he'll be moving it by himself, so that'll be nice. So my first noob mistake of the day, while I had unplugged my water pump, I decided, you know what, I might as well clean out the sponge filter in here. Nothing left in here. Clean it out, you can see it's nice and murky. And even though the pump was unplugged, it was still running the siphon. So as you can see, all of that nasty water siphoned right into the 90-gallon tank. So I get to do another water change. Good times. Alright, just checking in with everyone. You can see we are draining the other 40-gallon breeder, and this one's going to be a problem because I don't know where to put these fish. Basically, my only option is in this extremely overcrowded 75-gallon tank. So, I mean, I don't want to put them in there, but I think I'm going to have to. I don't really have a choice. There's nowhere else. I definitely don't want to put them in with my Tanganicans or Tropheus. Yeah, those are Tanganicans too, but definitely too aggressive for the Cyprichromis. So I think they're going to go in here. I'm just going to have to do like daily water changes on this tank until I get that 125 installed, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be my only option. I'm going to work on getting all the hardscape out of here, and then I'll check back in a little bit. Alright, here we go. Water is all drained out, and the other thing that I kind of forgot about are these guys here. I can't really see that one. A couple over here. These bristlenose plecos. These are wild caught from Brazil, so I cannot mix them with any of the other ones I have. They definitely can't go into my breeding fish for profit tank. So I just can't put them in general population. They're going to have to stay confined to themselves. Here's one scooting along the back. They do have a different coloration than the ones I'm currently breeding, which is why I don't want to mix them. Alright, so I'm just checking back in. I'm about to drain the last of the water in both of these tanks and get this stand moved out. It is on furniture movers, so that'll be a little easier. The bristlenose plecos that were down here, I moved over to the 75-gallon Lake Tanganyikan tank. We got lots of glare as always. So they should be happy in here. There's lots of algae. They won't touch the blackbeard algae, but they'll get everything else, so that's nice. There are one or two regular bristlenose plecos that I've been breeding in here, but they're not even close to being breeding size yet, so I'm not too worried about it. And I didn't really have a choice where I put them. So I'm going to drain the rest of the water over there, and then I'll check back in. Alright, so I got as much of the water as I'm going to get out for now, and now I just got to take some of the substrate out so it's lighter. And I just use one of these guys here, scoop it out, and put it down in the container. So in the aftermath of moving those tanks out, I've got, let's see, dead snail here, and unfortunately, looks like we got a Praecox rainbow that jumped out quite some time ago. But now the 40 gallons are moved. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with the snails here, so they might stay. There's no hurry to get these down right now because I still have to clean up this entire mess and make room for this in the garage. So that might be a project for a different day. But as for now, I'm going to get this vacuumed up and we'll be done for this part. Alright, so we'll take a quick peek at the 75-gallon tank where I moved all the cichlids. There's definitely some aggression in here. It's actually a good thing that there's so many in here to help spread around that aggression. We definitely need to get in that 125-gallon tank pretty soon. Hopefully this coming weekend, and then the following weekend we can get that 240 set up. No promises, but that's the plan as of now. But let's take a look at the 90-gallon with the puffer and see how little Steen is doing. So this tank being right here on the floor, about 1.5 foot of walk space here, doesn't give me much room to film. Little Steen is down here. He just found a snail, which I'm kind of surprised. I didn't put him in there, but we moved over a lot of rocks, so one probably hitched over. It was a pretty big mystery snail too. You can see the shell, maybe, kinda, all tore apart right there. Wish I would have got that on camera. He's resting now. Got all the hardscape from both tanks in here. Got the sponge filter going in the corner, heater. That'll be the only filtration is that little sponge, plus the plants. I did save the plants. I mean, we got some nice Anubias in there. There's Crips, and I can save them if I take the time, which hopefully I will. Just a little hydrogen peroxide will take quick care of it. So yeah, little Steen, where is he at? There he is. He's gonna get to enjoy this 90-gallon tank for a few weeks probably. Alright folks, there you go. You notice the only thing we got accomplished today was getting these two tanks out of here. We still got the mystery snail tank over back here somewhere, and the workbench with all the crap on there. Like I said, I gotta clean the garage and make a room for it first. And as much fun as that is, I don't think it would make for an exciting video. So that's gonna do it for this video. Stay tuned. Remember, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is the new schedule for videos, and then still live streaming on Monday. Hope to see everyone there. Otherwise, have a good weekend.